Okay, part 2 of this video, YZF R1, we're replacing the clutch. What I've done so far, just to let everybody know, is I have drained the oil in the oil pan. I take off the clutch lever, clutch cable, excuse me. Clutch cables you can see right here. I disengaged that, took off the clutch protector, and I'm about to take off the clutch, the basket or whatever you want to call it, the clutch cover, excuse me. Like I said before, my bike is on a stand. It's able to move around. I got the wheel stand, so it's able to move. So, but that's neither there or there important. Like I said, make sure you have all your tools ready to go, and this should go very quickly, very easily. Like I told you in the first video, is make sure you take off your plastics on left and right side, lower plastics, because you're going to need to release the oil and also take the clutch, and you just don't want any oil on the plastics. As I told you before in the first video, make sure you have all your tools. I think it's a good idea to have a sketch from the PDF, which is the file on the R1. As you can see, this is the detail of how it's supposed to go. You just want to take an overlook, even though if you may know how to do it, you need a Sharpie. I always say get a Sharpie because you need to mark a couple things. And again, make sure you have all your pieces. This right here is the clutch. It's soaked in clean oil, brand new oil that I just put in. So I soaked it in there in a Tupperware, which should be fine, ready to go. I'm really excited. I'm happy because all my parts are here, and we will begin slowly. So once again, I'm going to take off the clutch cover. I'm going to do this in pieces, so if it seems like I stop and go, it's because I keep pressing pause. So, okay, as you can see here, we're going to take the cover off. Okay, we got all the bolts loose, and we're taking the cover off. I got lucky with this cover because look at the gasket. Gasket's beautiful. I could actually reuse it, but because I actually don't, my clutch cover kit came with all the new gaskets, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so we have the clutch cover off, and this is what they call the clutch basket. Now, watch what I'm doing right now. I'm actually marking it with a Sharpie. If you can see this here, you want to mark it so that way once you put it back together, it lines up perfectly. See how that is? The reason I use a Sharpie, I guess that's the only thing that writes on metal, I guess. These screws are a 10. Do not use, it looks like here you could use a Phillips. You don't want to use a Phillips because you can actually end up stripping it, so you want to use an outside bolt, which is a 10, and leave this alone. And let's start beginning by taking the clutch and everything off. Okay, took all the bolts off the stuff, and I'm getting ready to take it off. Okay, so we got the pieces off, and this is what it looks like. Now remember, I have my new pieces in there, and these are the old ones. So once again, make sure that you follow each part. I call these fabric plates. I don't know the proper term for them. I mean, whatever. They're fabric and solid, and that's the way how it goes. So it's easy to take them off. You can just, as you can see, watch this, just slide out one, and take a look at it. Wow. Now take a look at this. This is the cool part. See this here? Look at the purple and the black and the blue and on the metal. So that means mine was gone, gone. Like, I know this got to be warped. This has to be warped. I mean, look at that. I mean, I know it's maybe hard to see, but you see that? That's like burnt. It's like metal burnt. I can't even describe it. Look at that. It's burnt. I know it may not be exciting to you guys, but to me it's exciting because I finally get to see what's going on behind the scenes here. But I'm going to take off piece by piece and inspect each one and take my time with it. Like I said, I'm having fun with this. This is on a level 1 to 5 so far. This is like a level 2.5, 3. So let me have some fun with this, and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Alright, so everything is out. You can see all the pieces here, and I'm going to start assembling them back
You
one
put
by
one
one.
already. Take that out.
In the background, that's my cousin Nellie right there. Say hi, Nellie.
Lena, what's that?
Yeah, drink your beer, okay? As you can see, this is why I like to do things by myself, so nobody will tempt me with a beer. Because she will pour the beer inside the oil. So don't put no beer in this oil.
It doesn't work.
So, one by one, the boring part.
You should put something else.
Repacked, as you can see, we repacked everything back in there, and right now I'm soaking the springs. These are the old springs. I noticed a difference between the old and the new springs because this one has a little more tension where I can squeeze it, and since the other one came in the kit, like, see, look at this one. Look how much I can squeeze that in. So these new ones, as you can see here, they barely can have any tension. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these new ones. I forgot to soak them for a long period of time that I should have, but I think it's fine. I'm gonna just let it sit for 15 minutes. I'm gonna put it back in. So, as you can see, I don't know what happened here, but somehow this got wet. I'm just gonna dry this off a little bit, and I'm praying that this is not a critical. But take this clutch cover, line it back up. Remember I tell you with the markers, and you should be all set to go. Cut. So, like I said before, tightening up everything. I do them crossway. My girl says it doesn't matter. I think it does because you want to get it on there nice. So not one side is on and then there's some type of excuse me, warping. Excuse me. It's kind of better if you had a screw gun or something because this is long and boring. As you can tell, it's a long screw, so it's a long way in. Plus the spring that's against you. Alright, so I put all the screws in, but I didn't tighten them all. And I'm just tightening them in a cross manner fashion. So right now I'm going to start to tighten them really tight. You're supposed to torque them 80 pounds per pressure. I do have a torque wrench, but I guess I'm lazy because I don't feel like going and getting a torque wrench. Sorry. At least I'm truthful. And you don't want to strip this because if you strip that, you're done. Just hang it up. And excuse me. All right. We just put the gasket on. We'll just put the gasket on and pretty much close it up. Fill it with oil. Put back the plastic on. Put back this on. As you can see, I left a mess. You can see all this oil. Kind of got messy because I got happy. Because I was just so happy to get the clutch on. So please don't have a happy syndrome like me and just want to hurry up and get things done so you can get back out there and start it up. This was on a scale, like I said, on a scale of 1 to 5. This was a scale of about maybe, I can say a 2, 3. It's not complicated if you have the right tools. If you don't have the tools, this would be a nightmare. if you have a magnet, and people will say, why do you need a magnet for? Well, when I was pulling out the rings, some of these rings were deep in there, and you can't really get a screwdriver in there, and you don't want to scratch anything up. Even with a long screwdriver, you don't want to scratch anything up. So, as you can see, check this out. See what I mean? Look at these burnt. Look how burnt that was. Wow. So, if you have a magnet, it helps things out and move things quicker. This whole process took me no more than what? I could say 20 to 30 minutes max. Because I'm just taking my time enjoying it and also speeding up at the same time. So, keep yourself clean, get some gloves. I'm going to put the gasket on and put her up with oil, and I'll put it on the next video to see when it's all completed. Like I said, when you put these plugs back in, cross it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just do a star motion when putting back on the casing, because again, you don't want to have it where one side gets in there. Watch carefully for, you see these lines? Watch carefully that you don't mess with the lines. I can't stress that enough. Don't get it caught. I just saw a line coming through. Don't get it caught. Don't twist them. Make sure you get all this oil. As you can see here, I will clean my bike because I'm very detailed with cleaning. I'll get all this crap off, and that's it. Okay, everybody, I just finished. Put on the clutch cover, put on the plastics, everything. I took it for a ride. It was a fun ride. I basically rode real hard. Just to check. I know I shouldn't have done this, but I did some burnouts, did some wheelies. I just couldn't help myself because it was a brand new clutch. Took it up to 100 and what was that, 48 that I looked at the speedometer, and I mean, I only got up to what, third gear. I know that was bad, but I just enjoy having a brand new clutch. Let me let you know one thing. I have to point this out. Putting back on the cover was this part here. The clutch cover itself was a very hard thing to do because you have to line up the gear here, and it has to go back in perfectly, and that was my only dilemma that took me a long time. Other than that, it was pretty easy. No one else in their videos I seen said anything about that or pointed that out, but that took me a while. But like I said, I took it for a ride, had some fun, and came back. Just to let you know how it sounds. She's ready to go. Very happy with her. I think the only thing left to do is to do a real oil change, complete oil change. Other than that, if you have any questions, post me a shout, send an email, or hopefully this was a great experience. Once again, this is the YZF R1 2007. 2008 is the same thing. 2006 is the same thing. 5, 4, and 3, exact same thing. So I don't know about before that because I never owned one before that, but all those years I did have bikes on. So good luck, and if you have some more questions, send me a link. Peace.